What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in back to the channel. Behind me here is our 2004 Chevy Silverado pre-runner inspired build. Now, to give you guys some background on this truck, we originally installed a 4.5-inch lift kit by Rough Country, and on top of that we swapped in some 35-inch mud terrain tires. Now, unfortunately, because that lift kit was so cheap, it had very poor dampening and rebound on those struts and shocks, which caused our brand new mud terrains to go to shit within a matter of a year. The tire's tread had actually feathered out into a very uneven, wavy pattern, which caused anything under 10 miles an hour to completely vibrate the truck. Not only that, but going on the freeway, anything over 65 miles an hour, if you hit a pothole incorrectly, the entire ass end would come out, and it was borderline dangerous, really. So we're correcting all these issues. We got some nice Bilstein struts and shocks, some KSB inner and outer tie rods to handle these oversized wheels and tires that we got. And later on in the video, you'll see that we actually swapped out those mud terrains with a cheap America's all-terrain tire. Even though they were about $500 for all four of these 35s, they ride so much better than the expensive mud terrains. When I say expensive, I mean expensive for me. $1,200 for a new set of tires was a lot of money for me to spend. So the fact that those got ruined by the Rough Country kit, kind of upset about it, but obviously it's on me because I cheaped out. So we're gonna be correcting all these issues today, and I wanna show you what we got. Okay, so these are all the parts that we're gonna be installing. Obviously we got our new 35s, but having this setup was not easy to figure out. We had to find the collapsible length, the extended length to match up with the 4.5-inch lift kit that we have. This wasn't just oh, I'm gonna go on Rock Auto and pick a nice strut. This had to be actually like calculated. So if you guys have a 2-wheel drive with a 4.5-inch lift kit, I'll leave the part numbers for all the parts that we used. Now, little situation here, the rear struts, there was nothing that would accommodate for a 3-inch block in a nice Bilstein. They had a yellow one, but I wanted them to all match. This is just my OCD. So we ended up dropping the size down from a 3-inch block to a 2-inch block, and that is going to accommodate for the extended and collapsing length on this exact shock. Now, be sure to get a side view of the truck because I don't want a lot of squat. This is actually going to make the rear end just a little lower than the front, and not too crazy about that, but if this rides like it should, I'm going to be happy regardless. So just keep that in mind. But we'll show you a before and after of how the actual stance is on the truck. 1 inch shouldn't really make a big difference here. Now that you know what we got, let's start working on the truck. We're going to start on the front side, so we'll get it up in the air and start replacing all the parts. All right, I don't trust tons of weight above my head, so we're gonna leave it up in the air with the jack stands. Just be safe. So to start, we're gonna be removing this top 13mm nut, and then if it spins, we're gonna lock it in place with like an adjustable wrench on top. I meant 14. Okay. No. Look how blown out. We barely put any mileage on this truck, and it's just bad quality parts, and that's what happens. The nice thing about working on these trucks is they're very easy to work on. So top nut's already off, we got 2 more on the bottom, and then the entire strut should just drop out. Okay, so we got our new strut. Bless you. Compresses nice. It's a little bit longer, so this video might take a turn for next week. Way too fast. It doesn't come back up. So maybe these, what the fuck? Wow, these are totally blown. These are junk. Let's throw in the new ones. So since the new struts have more travel than the Rough Countries, I needed a little bit of help from Alina. She compressed the strut down with a jack. This way I was able to torque down the 2 14mm nuts to complete the install of the front struts. Really straightforward, not too difficult to do. So we got our bushings on. We got 1 lower bushing and 1 upper bushing between the body. That was something that the Rough Country didn't have. I guess doesn't really surprise me because of the build quality. I don't really care. As long as it lifts the truck, that's all it really matters. And we're spinning. So we're gonna put an Allen key in this. Guys. guys, I think we fucked up. We always do the job first on one side and then do the video on the other side, so I really know what I'm talking about. I know it seems like I know what I'm talking about normally.
90% of the time, I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
So off camera, we were doing the first tie rod just to get an idea of what exactly we were doing. Unfortunately, we opened up a can of worms. One, the new heavy duty inner and outer tie rods don't fit. It's for a 4x4. There's nothing like that for the 2-wheel drive car. Second bad thing, when we peeled back the boot, there was a ton of fluid inside that boot, which means we have a blown seal on the rack. So obviously I have to replace the rack at this point. I noticed that there was some play in the steering anyway, so I don't want to bore you guys with that. And we're kind of on a time crunch too, so we need to get this truck back on the ground because we have another video that's due next week. Off camera, I'm going to be replacing the steering gear. Pretend I never said anything about the inner tie rods, okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, look right here.
We're gonna throw the front end back together on the truck and then move our way to the back side and replace the shocks and the blocks. So let's go. Go. Let's get the backside done. So we're gonna start jacking up the car from the frame here, one side at a time. So the truck's jacked up by the frame. I'm gonna just support the diff real quick. That way I can unbolt these with less tension. Just enough. 22 mil on the gun. The rough country stuff has not even been on for 2 years. Never will I ever put this stuff on again. I'm surprised that one even came off. Don't tell me I'm gonna have to chop all these. Get the big boy, the beef steak. God, the socket is hot. I like to live dangerously. These gotta be like 200 pounds. Fuck, they're all like this. All right, I'm gonna cut them. We're cutting them. I am such a diva. Here we go. No, I just got scared and whacked my head against the frame. Make sure to do it right next to the gas tank. I'll do it from the top. I think that'll work. Junk. Fucking junk. After finally removing the old 3-inch blocks, we sandwiched our new downsized 2-inch block between the frame and the leaf spring. There's a notch and groove that should align right on the top and bottom of our new blocks. All right, we are perfectly sandwiched now. I honestly, after spending my hard-earned pennies, feel very swindled by rough country. They swindled me. So much rust and dirt under here. I thought it was gonna be a much cleaner install. 22 mil on the impact. Okay, so we'll make sure our shackles are in the notches. They look good. And if this freaking gun was brushless, it wouldn't be 70 pounds. For the shock here, we're gonna just hit the lower mount first. This is a 21 mil on the bottom, and then adjustable wrench on the other end. All right, you don't want to play nice, so hit it first with the breaker bar. We're so close. Look at all that. Jeez-o, almost lost an eyeball right there. 22 on top with an adjustable wrench. We'll do the boot side up, because that's what Bilstein says, and reverse our step. We're gonna keep the band on here, and I'll show you in a second why we leave it on. I will say I was unsuccessful with the first one, but maybe I can get it this time. Look at the rust on my pants. It was a California car, and I'm just kidding. I'm gonna have Alina cut these for me, so go ahead and do the honors. So she's gonna cut this band, and I'm going to try my best to throw it in.
3, 2, 1.
God damn it, it did it again. Okay. Torque spec's 80-ish, I think 75 for the top, I don't know. It's nothing crazy, so if you impact it, you're good. Alina's gonna leave the torque specs right here. I hope I don't regret the 1-inch drop. I don't think I will. I think it'll be okay. 3, 2, 1. So, because I gave such a large shock, we should have these shackles a little bit shifted now, so I could just tighten these up real quick one last time. I think it's like the perfect amount of lift and squat or rake, however you want to call it. We still got to take off the KSP sticker though. We threw it on too early. I'm so happy. Okay, so that's all for today. We got everything mounted up. We're gonna do the rack tomorrow and then get a few miles under our belt after we drive it and see how they feel, give you guys a true review on it. So we'll see you guys in a second. Welcome back. It's been about a month. We finally got the steering rack all situated, got the truck finally aligned, got some miles under her now. I can confidently say that I will never buy another Rough Country product again. I have to be honest, you know, sponsorships, because I'm talking up a company, it's not worth it. Their tonneau covers might be really good, but their suspension, at least for the 99 to 06 Silverados, would not recommend. We had a blowout earlier in the video. You saw that one of the struts didn't compress. Well, actually, all of them didn't compress, rebound. They were all blown, and it's not like I take the thing off-roading or anything. So we made it to this little dirt lot. Truck feels really good. There's actual compression, rebound, and it just feels good. We're gonna get out of the truck real quick. You guys can kind of get an idea of the stance and how it sits now since we dropped the 1-inch block in the rear. I really like the rake. It's not too much, it's just enough. And we'll take a step outside now so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. I did notice when doing 65, 75 on the freeway, roughly around that speed, what used to happen was if you hit a pothole or anything abrupt, maybe even like a freeway overpass, the rear end would kick out. Like it would like you'd hear the rear tires skip. Doesn't do that anymore. We didn't mess with the alignment. The alignment is exactly the same in the rear. It's kind of higher over here, so it kind of looks upwards, but on completely level ground, this is a little bit shorter than the front end. It really does have that rear squat, but just a little bit though. Overall, I am very happy with the way it rides. I don't think I'm gonna be changing anything else suspension-wise on this truck. We make these videos for you guys to help out the community. I know there's a surplus of Silverado content. Hopefully this answered some of your guys' questions regarding the Rough Country kit. All in all, can't recommend it myself. I highly recommend the Bilsteins. And if you guys have any ideas, leave a comment down below so that we could try some new things out. And with that, we're gonna wrap up the video here. If you guys stay till the end, leave a like. It really helps out the channel a ton. Subscribe below if you haven't done so already. We have a bunch of different projects in store, so stay tuned for more. And with that, we'll see you guys later. Take it easy.